What's hot? Hot Wheels convertibles.
Okay.
Now you can...
Howdy everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Capital Wasteland. Today we're greeted with a very beautiful sunrise coming up over the Capital Wasteland. Now today we're going to be checking out Deathclaw Sanctuary. Now many people consider this to be one of the most difficult areas in Fallout 3. However, I was using the dart gun, and if you use the dart gun, you will find this place is actually pretty darn easy. Also, having dog meat helped a lot, so let's go ahead and check out Deathclaw Sanctuary. Not to be confused with Deathclaw Promontory in Fallout New Vegas, Deathclaw Sanctuary is located in the far northwest of the Capital Wasteland, literally right next to Broadcast Tower KB5, which we explored last video. In fact, we are approaching from Broadcast Tower KB5, and you get a really good vantage point on the entrance to Deathclaw Promontory from this angle. There's this little hole right above the entrance, which makes the Deathclaws run away because they sense danger, they cannot reach us. Used a well-placed mini-nuke on that poor Deathclaw because, well, why not? However, mini-nukes are the least of the Deathclaw's worries because the dart gun is far more dangerous, far more scary. You see, the dart gun is the most powerful gun in Fallout 3. One hit will cripple the limbs of anyone who faces us. This gun, which is simply made up of a paint gun, a toy car, and some surgical tubing, is literally death in a gun. And anybody that gets shot by it, especially a large Deathclaw without any kind of ranged weapon, is pretty much ineffective against us. If we go just to the east of the entrance to Deathclaw Sanctuary, we'll find an Enclave Camp with some decent loot, as you saw, and it appears that the Enclave are experimenting on the Deathclaws. As we know, they're trying to make like Deathclaw soldiers. Crazy bastards. Now I also want to take a look at some of the surrounding area around Deathclaw Sanctuary. We kind of have these tall plateaus in the canyon that would lead to Deathclaw Sanctuary if you approach from the south. Now on top of these plateaus there are these wooden bridges, but there's nothing really on these plateaus of note besides an absolutely brilliant view of the Capital Wasteland and the surrounding area. However, just to the south of Deathclaw Sanctuary, we have a road that abruptly ends inside of this tunnel. I don't know what this tunnel is, or why it's here, or why this tunnel would be here in real life. It really seems quite pointless, but my guess is maybe it goes underneath the river, maybe? Maybe something we can investigate later on. And as you just saw, there will be some robots down here by the tunnel, so make sure you kill them. I went to go see if there was any entrance to the tunnel, and there is nothing that is accessible to the player character. And then I went and looted the robots that I killed. Now there's a chance for a random encounter just here in the canyon right below Deathclaw Sanctuary. I found this magical scavenger who was selling all kinds of random stuff, and behind him is a floating barrel with fire in it. So this scavenger is obviously a wizard, which is obviously why he can survive living so close to these Deathclaws. Now, as you approach the entrance, we will find an average locked footlocker with duck and cover inside and various ammunition and explosives, so a pretty good find. And then we can enter Deathclaw Sanctuary. Now, this is kind of comparable to Dead Wind Cavern in Fallout New Vegas. However, I have to say I think Dead Wind is significantly more difficult because there's no dart gun in Fallout New Vegas. So in here, just using the dart gun and letting dog meat go at it against these Deathclaws proved to be extremely effective. Something I didn't realize in Fallout 3 is dog meat regenerates his health once we finish a battle, which kind of means dog meat is kind of invincible. I mean, if he got in a really bad situation, he might die. Now, at the entrance, we will find several mutilated bodies, and next to this dead Brahmin, we can find a mini-nuke, a bobblehead, Endurance, and then Nikola Tesla and you. I just never really knew that bobbleheads' heads actually bobble. Who would have thought? I probably noticed it before, just I didn't remember, so I just thought I'd go ahead and point it out, because why not? Now, inside of the Deathclaw Sanctuary, we're going to find tons of mutilated bodies in this similar way, so there's lots of blood, lots of gore. As I kept going throughout the sanctuary, I eventually found a part where there was a Deathclaw that obviously saw me, but he couldn't reach me for whatever reason. In here, there was tons of mutilated bodies, and something you want to look for in these piles of bodies are these wasteland merchants, because they're going to have a good amount of caps on them, along with some other interesting loot like stim packs or junk that, you might be interested in for crafting or something. And then as I was searching for this Deathclaw, the Deathclaw decided to jump scare me, literally jumping out of this wall. And ladies and gentlemen, we have it. We have another sighting of Deathclaw Jesus. It has been a long time since we encountered him, probably since Old Oni, but here he is, Deathclaw Jesus, phasing into a wall because he was so freaking afraid of the dart gun. I couldn't find where he went, but he actually teleported above us, and then I used the plasma pistol and, of course, Dogmeat, who is better than Deathclaw Jesus, and then me and Dogmeat just, well, killed the Deathclaw. Unfortunately, he had to die, just like all of the other Deathclaw Jesuses, but he kept being resurrected, so guess it doesn't matter. And as we continue our way through Deathclaw Sanctuary, like I said, there are so many piles of mutilated bodies. Obviously, this place has been haunting and terrorizing the citizens of the Capital Wasteland. There are so many dead bodies in here, it's actually pretty wild. Deadwind Cavern does not have nearly this many dead people inside of it. Here, this is the only Deathclaw that got a hit on me while I was playing in this area, and it was only because he jumped while I was in VATS, and he got his jump off before I could cripple his leg, but I crippled his legs mid-jump. Now, in this next main chamber, this is probably the largest chamber, is where the fight became the most difficult, because there were 3 Deathclaws in this area. However, for some reason, one of the Deathclaws didn't fight me immediately, and the 2 Deathclaws that did want to fight were more fixated on Dogmeat, so Dogmeat is an absolute champ, and we were able to kill both of these Deathclaws. Here's the other Deathclaw not far behind. Now, in this main chamber, if we kind of go to the west-northwest, we will find a large pile of bodies along with an ant. Now, in this pile, we can find a special weapon called Jack. Now, there is a Wasteland Merchant, and so definitely take a look at him, see what kind of loot he has on him. And then tucked away in the back here, there's 2 bodies actually. There's a Wastelander, and there's an Enclave Officer. You want to loot the Enclave Officer if you've completed the Waters of Life quest in order to receive Jack, a unique melee weapon. So pretty darn good. Then if we head to the very back of this room, which is to the southeast, we will find this bloody pool of water. It is radioactive. There's several dead bodies inside of it. Go ahead and take a look at the bodies for some ammunition or weapons. And then lying on the shores of this small pond is Vengeance. Again, another unique weapon, but this time you don't have to complete the Waters of Life quest in order to find it. That always spawns there, so pretty easy. Now, from here on out, you can keep on exploring the cave, but truthfully, there's no point except for the XP from killing the Deathclaws. At this point, you've pretty much found all of the important loot, and it's just killing Deathclaws and trying to find your freaking way out of this maze. And it is not too difficult if you use the local map. Actually, using the local map helped me out a lot, helped me understand this place a lot better. And there you guys have it. Deathclaw Sanctuary. It was actually not that bad. Who would have thought? But upon leaving Deathclaw Sanctuary, I did feel an overwhelming sense of happiness to be out of literally hell. But I don't think it's as bad as Deadwind Cavern. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Unexplored Capital Wasteland. If you guys have any recommendations or video ideas for a future location, future video, please post them in the comment section below. And, as always, until next time.